All right, y'all. I hate to have to start off Love Week on a negative note, but I think in order to do things right, you have to know what's wrong sometimes. Like, you're usually going to make more mistakes than you are going to get it right the first time. But so I wanted to present you all with some things to look out for in any relationship, but in particular, love relationships. Um, so anyway, I was reading Genesis 49, and that's where Jacob was blessing his sons, telling their future. And one thing I noticed was that with his blessings and his future blessings, he was reading them. He was like, and you said with my concubine, la la la, you ain't he was basically kind of telling them your futures based off of what you did in the past. Like what you're going to be in the future is kind of based off what you did in the past and are currently doing, which goes to show us like our character really shapes our future. So if you have bad character, then you're gonna have a bad future. Your character can change if you work at it, but if you just decide to stay the same little whack job, then your future is going to be a little whack job future. So I wanted to say that and point this out to y'all. It's a quote. I'm trying to remember it. If you want to know what someone is going to do in the future, look at what they've done in the past. And so, on that note, let's talk about what to look out for in your relationship, whether that's a friend, foe. You already can't trust a foe, but whether that's platonic or a romantic relationship. So, there's this book by Barbara DeAngelis, PhD. Are you the one for me? And it's pretty good. We ain't gonna talk about her, but we will talk about chapter 6. Says 6 fatal flaws. There's six. Let's go to the first one. Addictions. Addictions. They don't necessarily have to be strung out on crack or alcoholics, even though those are bad things. If they can't deal with blah blah blah, that is an addiction. I think the only good addiction is an addiction to. Well, no, I'm not gonna call it addiction, but I think even being obsessed with having a certain appearance in public, like an addiction for approval. You can find them, they're always asking you to like, do you like what I did? How do you feel about this? Like constantly asking you the same question. You have an addiction to I don't know, what's it called? Approval, an approval addiction. That's kind of weird. You can ask me one time how I feel. Don't ask me several times. It's the same that I felt before. If my feelings change, then you can I will tell you. Until then, refer to what I said in the beginning. Second problem is anger. So they get mad at you, they get mad at other people around them, grabbing onto you, shaking you. It's like, ah! No, just keep your hands off me. The third one is victim consciousness. What does that mean? Oh, oh yes. Everything is always someone else's fault. So in a relationship, she did it, he did that. It's like, what did you do? What did you do? You had to have done something. They blame others for their problems. Okay. He stuck. Control freaks. Those stuck right there. Control freaks. They always want to have things their way. You feel criticized, judged, and scrutinized by your partner. So they try to tell you how to wear your hair or what to do. It's like, I don't know. And then, like, when you do what you want to do, then they try to insult you. They are defining you backwards connections. That's when someone, they already have in their mind who you're supposed to be. And then when you start being who you actually are, they start losing because, like, that's not the idea I had of you. Well, you need to get an appropriate idea of who I am. Hello, my name is LaShara. Introduce yourself. Sit down and talk to me. Don't define me backwards because you will be upset. Sexual dysfunction is another problem. That's either sexual addiction and obsession. Always talking about sex. They watching porn. They blah blah blah. Just like, can we have a conversation not about that? Lack of sexual integrity, sleeping around, molesting people, and sexual performance problems. Um, if you go there, I know everyone's not a Christian. Even if you are a Christian, you can slip up. But if you do slip up and you get into that and you find that slip up and it's like, you know, slip up out of it. But don't intentionally do it. Hasn't grown up. Okay, definitely living with their parents. Um, what else they do? What else some kids do? Always playing video games. They don't know how to talk. They're financially irresponsible. Yes. Always gotta borrow some money. They're unmotivated. Um, just yeah, yeah, yeah. Their parents are all up in their business. I was like, my dad, my mom, what I'm saying? Just like, they're not really adults. It's, you don't need that if you ain't grown up. Kids don't have like real substantial relationships with other kids. They have relationships with their parents. So if that's what's going on, that's what you need to do. You need to continue having your relationship with your parents until you grow up and get out of my face. Um, Emotionally unavailable. That's someone who will not talk to you. They don't show emotions. They won't talk about their feelings. They talk about nobody need nobody. All I need is me and my dog. So F all of y'all. They don't trust women. People did this, going probably back to their victim consciousness. Hasn't recovered from past relationships. If I always talk about their exes and what they did and la da da, or what's some other past relationships? Sexual abuse, physical or verbal abuse, religious fanaticism, eating disorders. It's like if someone needs counseling, you can pretty much tell it, and they'll probably tell you too. It's just like you can't be their counselor unless you actually are a counselor or a psychiatrist. But you know what I'm saying? I don't think you. Would you say confidential? Yeah, you don't date your clients. You shouldn't be dating your clients because you know what I'm saying. You crazy too. And emotional damage from childhood. I know that's horrible. Like, oh, you damaged, but like you can go to a counselor. You are an adult. Or you can read books and get your life together. So, wait, I don't see that. But yeah, emotional damage from childhood, whatever that may be. I'm not saying like if anyone ever had issues as a child, you shouldn't talk to them. But I'm saying if it's still affecting them to this day and they're not trying to work it out, they need to work it out your life because you don't have time for all that. You're not trying to get into a relationship to heal anybody. They can go see Jesus and the counselor and get out your face. So on that note, look at their past to determine your future with them. I know that sounds horrible. We want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but don't doubt the facts. Okay, you don't have to personally experience it to know. And especially if they're telling you all these negative things. Like, take that, run with it, run to the hills, be like, oh, I ain't feeling you. Don't say I'm not feeling you because this is going to further make them crazy. But say something to the effect of, nah, I'm straight. Colleges, I'm straight. I'm straight. Don't even entertain them because you will get sucked in and then you will have yourself some fatal flaws to deal with. Okay. Okay. So wrap it up real quick. Remember it. I'm sorry, maybe I should write them down. I don't know. If you should buy the book. Are you the one for me? Barbara DeAngelis. Peace.